Hello, racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet to the best, bet with WSB. Well, there is racing this weekend at Scottsville, and then they were supposed to be racing a doubleheader on Sunday at Kenilworth and Turpentine, but Kenilworth has now been abandoned due to the inclement weather they're having down in the Western Cape. So it'll be Turpentine on a Sunday and Scottsville on Saturday. Well, I would say it is the main event for the weekend will be at Scottsville, where they are featuring the Track and Ball Oaks, Group 2, and the Track and Ball Derby, Group 3. And those two feature races with some quality action throughout the day, I would think will definitely add to the size of the pool. So what I've done is I've picked out 4 horses to follow, and I've even given a suggested pick 6 for Saturday at Scottsville. To you, the racing fan, I trust that you're well, you're having a fair week, and hopefully everything's going according to plan. And let's hope it turns out to be an absolute belter for you this weekend, especially at Scottsville. Well, let's go with our 4 to follow. Away we go. We will begin early in the day because I like a horse in race number 1. Called Knockout for trainer Justin Snate, and of course JP van der Merwe will ride. And this individual, well, she made a debut down in Cape Town, and that day she drifted out in the betting market, so unfancied by the yard. And I'm sure that the connections would have been really pleased with that effort. She ran 5th, beating more than half the field. And then a debut run in the province was at a second start over 1,200 meters at Greyville. And that day she was priced up as the initial favorite, but the money poured on Sean Tandy's runner called Kingdom of Gold, and she went off at the second choice at the top of betting boards. Kingdom of Gold was punted to start favorite and duly obliged for her followers, winning a very good race, and she was the filly that stayed on best of the race. I like that run. She moved up like she was going to go on and win it. She just found a faster finishing filly better on the day. Now, she's had the 2 runs, so she's got the experience, and having watched the last start, just the manner in which he raced, I think the Scottsville Straight's going to suit her nicely, and whatever beats her will win. So I'm going strong in race number 1 with horse number 11, Knockout. And then on to race number 3 it is, and here it's over 1,200 meters. It's a maiden juvenile place, and I think Lucky Vudilakis has found the right race for his filly called Dreamland. Well, I've watched all of her runs to date. She's had 3 runs, and it just seems to be that she is best at this stage of her career over the sprint distances, because they did try over 1,450 meters at a second start where she didn't find a finish. So her 2 runs over 1,200 reads like this. On debut, she was beaten by Zanovi. That was a good introduction to her career. And then last time out, well, she did everything but win. She showed natural early pace and speed when they fitted her with blinkers, and she was just run out of it late by Brett Crawford's runner called Raven Black. Now, against this type of field, it all depends on her traveling and how she takes the traveling, because these are young horses down to Scottsville on Saturday. And if everything is 100% and A for away, I think it'll take a good filly to beat her. On what she's shown to date, all she needs to do is repeat that last start where the blinkers stay on. DeMello knows her well, and I think she is no doubt the right horse at the top of the betting board. Race 3, number 11, Dreamland. Then I go on to, I think it's race number 5. Yes, it is race number 5. And race number 5, it's a B division class. It's a merit-rated 92 handicap over 1,200 meters. Now, in this race, I really like the look of Kanemayer and DeMello. There is lots of form to work around amongst many of these runners. It looks like a competitive field, but I'm going to take a big, bold chance here with USA's Hope. You can clearly see that he, after his 2 runs as a juvenile, they gelded him. They gelded him on the 12th of July. That was towards the end of last season. And he's come back as a 3-year-old, and his form is faultless. He won his first 2 starts. He won them in fine style at Kenilworth. And then his next 2 runs, well, he's finished close up. He's run 2nd and he's run 3rd. Now, that 3rd last time out was his first run back in the province. and it was a good run. Look for Hounds caught me napping that day, the Vaughan Marshall runner, but nevertheless, this horse showed his well-being, and he ran a decent third. When I look at the race and the way it's going to be run, with the early pace, with the early speed, the way the tempo is going to be for this fella, I think it'll suit him beautifully, because he's a horse that just sits off the pace, and hopefully he can find a good finish. So I like him a lot. I'm going to make him a banker and everything, and he's going to go into our trackside trebles. Race 5, number 9, US Hayes Hope. Then we go on to race number 8, and this is a Pinnacle Stakes over 1,000 meters. And I'm going with the obvious horse here. I say the obvious horse because I expect this horse to be priced up way ahead of the balance of the field when it comes to the fixed odds betting market. And in race 8 over 1,000 meters, Isi Vungu Vungu, Peter Muscat and Richard Foree. A horse that did very well as a 3-year-old. If I can recall, I think he won the In Full Flight handicap, and he won the Umgeni handicap as a 3-year-old. And then this season, well, I think he's just coming to his own. He's had 4 runs this season for 3 places. One of these places was in the Cape Flying Championships, where he ran close up behind an absolute star in Give Me a Princess. I say an absolute star because Give Me a Princess has come out to place in the Drill Hall Stakes, and he's been a subsequent winner of the Golden Horse Sprint, winning in fine style for Kanamea, Kaya Stables, and of course DeMello. So that was a good run in the Cape Fly. And then his last start, well, traveling horses, it's a 50-50, and it is risk and reward. But they had a plan with this horse when they're traveling him up for the computer form sprint. He was one of the more fancied runners in the race. In fact, I see he was backed from 7-1 into 5-1 that day. And what a peach of variety was given by Richard Foree to grab that Group 1 at Turfentine. And that was a big win for him in his career, adding that Group 1 to his CV. And when you look at the best weighted column, he's by far way clear of the second best, who I see is the filly Pico. She's at a 114. And Isi Vungu Vungu at a 126. So even though he's carrying 62 kgs, this type of race looks ideal for him to follow up on that Group 1 computer form sprint. And again, if you're looking for the big cash, the huge money in pick sixes, you want to try and beat horses like this. But I've told you, I've given you a pick six, which will come up now. So race 8, we're going with Isi Vungu Vungu. So let's go to that pick 6, and that pick 6 begins in race number 4 at 13:35. I like the look of the card. I mentioned some quality racing, so you should get a sizable pool. First leg of that pick 6, just jot down these numbers. We'll do it in numerical order. I'm going 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. Playing to beat Alphabeti, who will be the favorite there. So 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. That second leg of the pick 6, we know we got a banker, so that's banker 9, USA's Hope. Race 6, which is the Track and Ball Derby, Group 3 over 2,400 meters. I'm going with 3 runners here. I'm taking no chances. I think the winner will come from one of these 3. I think Shangani looks well placed here. If you look at his rating, he's by far clear in the best weighted column. But I'll include 2 Aragosta, 3 Salvatore Mundi, and 4 Shangani. And then the Track and Ball Oaks, which is the next race. That's race number 7, over 2,400 meters. I've played it widely. I've gone 2 Hold My Hand, who I think, if things work out for her this time round, as a one-time winner, having been placed in all these high-class features, I think it looks like the right field for her. But I'm including 2 Hold My Hand, 5 Dawn of a New Day. I'll also include number 7, none other, 8 Silver Links, and 10 Light of the Moon. Of course, how can we leave out the Gauteng Oaks winner, number 7, none under there, who I think would be the value in the race. Then race number 8, we bank up number 6, Isi Vungu Vungu. And then the ninth race, I played it wide, all of numbers 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we got our 2 trebles that will be up on the World Sports Betting menu. I'll read out the pick 6 for you. 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 by 9 a banker, by 2, 3, 4, by 2, 5, 7, 8, and 10, by 6 a banker, by 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And the full perm there cost $520. 25 Rand. So you can take a nice percentage of it, and hopefully you get a decent return on your investment. And that's it, guys, this week's show. And as always, on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially thanks to you, the valued customer. Until we meet again, you take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Find all the business, make a huge profit, and hopefully it turns out to be a very successful weekend for you. From myself, Deez Dayanand. Until next week, you take care. Salani Gashe.